Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is the recap review for the game, The Reboot. So, with this episode, it started out with Malik actually trying his hand at No Nut November. And he is throwing away his collection of pornographic movies. And I'm like, why though? Like, all you have to do is find someone who is not easily impressed with money and does not care about you crying and begging and have them to lock them away and not allow you access until after November is over. This fool is really barbecuing them up. And so Jameson is trying to help him, and he was in the middle of doing okay, and then he was like, no, I can't do this. Like, you'll understand, I have a better collection than the internet. Man, Jameson took that little thing that he had that was full of them and just dumped them on the thing and was burning them up. I was like, sir, come on now. You done went off. You done went off. But there's somebody who plays these affirmations that apparently Jameson listens to all the time, and it helps him to get through stuff like that. So he's trying to be accepting of it. But like I said, I don't understand why, for whatever reason, nobody thought, let's lock him away. Like, he already paying you to do these tasks. Go on ahead, lock him away from him somewhere, and then that's it. And just give him back to him when No Nut November is over with. Like, I don't understand why that was so hard. So yeah, this is going to be very, very hard for Malik to do, but hopefully he'll get through it. Well, meanwhile, back at the apartment that Brittany is sharing with old girl. I don't know why I forgot. I told y'all know I'm terrible with these names. Raquel, I think that's her name. She over here getting her life, having a little twerk moment. And so she was like, yeah, I'm getting ready for the white party. And so then she told her that she was going to go. But then she kind of felt let down because she's like, oh, you're going to treat me like I'm going to be a server? I thought you said I don't have to serve anymore. I don't have to wait tables anymore. She was like, oh, no, I don't want you to do that. Like, you're not going to really do that. But in this instance, she is, because Ari Lennox is going to be there. Y'all, I live for Ari Lennox. I have been a fan since before she signed to whatever J. Cole's record label and all that stuff is. Like, been on her. I used to watch something called Black and Sexy TV before you had to pay a subscription. They used to have her music all up and through it when she was just simply uploading it to YouTube on her own. So like I said, I've been a day one fan of Ari Lennox. But yeah, Ari Lennox is going to be at the white situation that Tasha is throwing, and she wants her to go so that she can try to have an opportunity to present what she can do to Ari. And so it's going to be a long shot, but she's willing to try it out. She done brought her little outfits to choose from. So she gonna go. So despite her having to do that, she's like, yeah, I'll go. I'll try it out. Tasha is trying to get the Colonel to get on board with Jameson because he is a client of hers, and she's really trying to get him to understand that, yes, things happened in the past, but it's not what everybody's trying to make it out to be. But he ain't really trying to hit it because he is all about the bottom line. The people ain't here for him, and them people set it off when they saw him at the training situation. And so he's still trying to flirt with her. He think he finna get up in between them thighs and butt cheeks. Like, he really be trying to flirt with her. And when their conversations be over, she be sick and tired of him. Like, she be smiling and like, this gonna get the job done. All right. And then she just be like, I'm so glad that this is not a situation that is going to continue. Like, I hope she don't never break. I feel like that's what she need to do in order for this man to listen to her. But yeah, this man really be trying to get with her. Like, he done gave her information for his divorce attorney and all of that because she and Pookie are not on the greatest of terms. And I'm just like, child, like, are you staying with him because despite the fact that you love him and y'all have a child together, are you scared that he gonna take you to the cleaners because you making all this money? Like, what is it? Like, I'm trying to understand. And like they don't really talk about Pookie like that. Like they don't really go into the dynamics of it all. But you could tell that they ain't on the greatest of terms. He don't show up to none of the functions. Like they did. She works a lot. She works a whole lot. And it's like, but Pookie, you knew what it was when you got with Tasha. So let's not try to act like we don't understand what's going on. So anyway, Jameson is having this pole dancing class full of seniors. And apparently that was a part of his probation and all of that. When he got out, he had to do that as a part of his community service. That's what I meant to say. And like the ladies love him. Like they know what he went down for and all this other stuff. It is what it is. And child, it's just one woman in there. She be setting it off. And Brittany walked in and was like, okay, what's going on here? Like, okay, because she knows what he was into. And she's tried to convince him to go to the white party. And so he was like, I don't think that's going to be a good idea. And Tasha told me that I need to stay out of the limelight until she gets me that deal. And so she was like, I hear you. It is what it is. No, you need to go to this white party. And because of the interaction that she saw between Jameson and that one older woman in particular, she wants the woman to go with him too. Like, because she speaks so highly of him. Like, it's like, child, he is everything. And I want him to win. And he going to be that star. And they don't see what they missing out on. Like, she really be talking this man up. This woman said he going to be my grandson one day. Like, she really be setting it off. So the white party is happening and Raquel is there and acting as a server. Ari Lennox is performing. She has performed her hit Pressure, one of her newest hits. And it was everything. And while that situation was going on, Brittany was trying to tell Raquel, like, you need to roll up on her. And while you giving her drinks and things, you need to, like, sing the menu to her because I have assigned you directly to be her server. So it's like, girl, if you don't make it, if you don't get your foot in the door, it's your fault at this point. So it is what it is. But yeah, she's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And like she had a moment after Brittany left and she was kind of trying to sing the menu and she was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that, and walked off. There's this woman who Tasha is trying to impress. And it's a school that her daughter wants to get into because her daughter is very into athletics and all that stuff, into sports. And she's trying to raise over $2 million. Tasha killed me because like at the beginning of the episode, she was like, yeah, I'm going to raise $2,001 just so I can outdo Oprah. And so the woman who she's talking to, she's like over the school, I guess you could say. And she's doing all of this because it's a fundraiser of sorts, if you will, for that. But she wanted to be able to get her foot in the door, like all the way in the door. Like, ain't no way you can deny my child access to this school because I'm giving you a $2 million check. So she anticipates being able to raise that. Everybody who has been invited, more than likely they are going to give all of that. So it is what it is. So she talking to her and she was like, oh, okay. Well, we, expect you to get your hands dirty and all this other stuff. She said something about cleaning, getting a bucket. And so after the woman walked off, she was like, I ain't cleaning nothing. And y'all know she didn't say nothing. So it is what it is. But Tasha is going to be in for a rude awakening. And my thing is, do you love your child enough to get down and dirty and do what you got to do? Malik then came up there and he making an announcement, and he normally is into everything. People have come to the house. He was supposed to have a 5-some orgy, everything. Like, he's supposed to do all kinds of stuff. And he is fighting the urge because y'all know he is a nymphomaniac, or whatever the terminology is supposed to be for somebody who act like they cannot live without sex and got to have sex every minute of the day. Very overly sexual. And so she letting everybody know, do what y'all need to do. And we are already making a good amount of money. Like, they're already over $600,000 as it is and rising. And she expects for it to be $2 million. Like I told y'all before, Malik is not doing well. There's a woman in particular whose name is India, who is thick. She is beautiful. And they usually be getting it in. And she is very much so into him. I guess Tasha invited her and she's there at the event. And he don't need no more temptation. He had to tell Jameson to get him out of there. So he's taking him to another part of the party for the moment. It is what it is. Raquel is in the middle of, just watching everybody because, like I said, she is solely assigned to Ari Lennox. Garrett, who is the person who I told y'all about, who was like today's version, I guess, of Malik because of the positions and things that he's in and the money that he's making. Like, everybody live for him like he is the talk of the town. Yeah, he lives for Raquel, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try to make them a thing, and we're going to see how that goes, but whatever. So he rolled up on her and was like, yeah, let me get a Scotch neat. So she was like, yeah, and walked over to the barkeep, I guess you can call him, and was like, yeah, get him a Scotch neat, and walked off and went on by her business. And so he was like, you're Raquel, Brittany's friend. And so she was like, yeah, and you're the guy who is very expensive. Like, he is going to be up for auction, if you will, right along with Malik. And she was like, yeah, if I could buy you for $24, I would. And he was like, yeah, you can't afford me. And he was like, I'm going for at least 28. And so she laughed, and like, you could tell that they are here for one another. So I was like, okay, set it off then. Tell me why. Tell me why the DJ started playing some song. I don't know why I can't think of the song right now. Hold on, let me see if I can think of it. Child, I can't remember that song. But anyway, the older lady who was there, who basically accompanied Jameson to the event, she's talking to the Colonel. And so, like, they hit it off well earlier when there was a group setting. And so now they're talking one-on-one. So she was like, yeah, and, brought up Jameson and was like, he's a good man. He a good dude. He would make an amazing football player for the pros and all this. And so he was like, oh, how do you even know Jameson? She said, stripping. He was like, stripping? She was like, yeah, stripping. Like, she was spilling all his tea, and it is what it is. But it's like, child, calm down. Calm down, everybody. And it's funny because, like, she was trying to tell him, like, look, you don't know nothing about, good pastries and things. Like, I don't forget if she said it was peach cobbler or whatever it was, but he said I ain't had a good, that type of a dessert, whatever dessert it was, since ever living in Las Vegas. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you didn't. It is what it is. So anyway, now they have started the bidding, and the person who wanted Garrett, I mean, it is what it is. But then when they were doing the bidding on Malik, man, India was trying to get a piece. And ultimately, guess who ended up winning the bid? The old lady that came with Jameson. So Malik kind of felt relieved because he was like, oh, okay, well, I ain't going to have to get up in between them thighs and butt cheeks because I'm pretty sure they're going to want a piece. And typically, like, when he goes to the white party, he's able to pull everybody he wants. Anybody he might have his eye on. And this is the time where he's trying to do No Nut November. So, yeah. But he had his moments where he was dancing with that woman. I said, sir, please do not spank a butt cheek. Like, please don't do none of these things because I don't put nothing past him. But, yeah, that woman ended up bidding. I didn't know the woman had no money. But I'm guessing that's why Jameson got what he got. Like, they just older. She's a widow and all this other stuff. And so, she was like, look, I got into this pole dancing class and whatever. And, like, he's been great for me. Like, he has helped me out tremendously. He's such a nice young man and all this other stuff. I was like, okay, cool. Do what you do. So, after everything happened with that, we see Raquel. And she had done approached Ari Lennox. And there's a certain way that you're supposed to order beverages, and she ended up switching out this like candle situation, and for her to use an app on her phone, I guess. Child, she tried to do it, and when she did it, her information came up. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, I really want you to listen to my music. Like, I write, I do all these things. And so she was like, okay, There was another way that you could have done this or whatever, but I'll try to check it out. Like, okay, like you could tell Ari is kind of weirded out. Later on, after everything happened with that, Ari did what she did, but she approached the girl, was like, listen, you're dope. You're a dope writer, you're a dope artist. And I put you in touch with somebody who started following you immediately and they feel the same way. So somebody will be in touch with you soon. So it paid off after all was said and done. Child, India didn't care nothing about that bid. And she found Malik and he looked like he finna break. And he was about to break. And as soon as the draws was about to drop, his alarm went off because he had an alarm set for 12 o'clock, which means he made it through a whole day of No Nut November. Once he heard that, he picked that girl up and sat her down in the chair. She don't know what's going on. And he actually ended up repeating the mantra that he says, that the woman, that it's some woman who Jameson listens to, who does like this mantra and, you know, positive speakings and whatnot, that they both repeat now. And so I guess he gonna really get with this No Nut November. Child, while we at the event, we see this man. And I was like, wait a minute, please don't let this man be who I think it is. This man rolled up on Jameson. Jameson had this look on his face like, oh, I didn't expect to see you here. Child, this is the father of the man. This is the father of the daughter that he was screwing. Remember when I told y'all the reason why he went to jail, prison, or whatever was because he had a girlfriend who was like 16 years old or something like that. She was white on top of that, which added insult to injury in this situation. And they had sex. And he found out about it and he was put into jail. Like, this is just a story that is as old as time. Yeah, this man went all the way off. He was like, you have no business being here. Of course you would be here. You ain't even been out. This man was quoting the time and everything. He was like, you ain't even been out of jail that long. And look at you. You're already over here hobnobbing. You don't deserve to be here. This man made a whole spectacle. Set it off at the event. Now, he put in like $200,000. Child, to set it off, Tasha told him, don't be like that. Tried to pull him off to the side to get him to calm down. That man wasn't trying to hear nothing Tasha was talking about. And Tasha had to set it off. And Tasha was like, look, that's not the situation. He changed. I understand where you coming from. This man told her, you must not have daughters. And so she had to set that straight because she was like, yes, I do have a daughter. I have 2 children whom I love very much. And I'll do anything to protect them. And I understand your situation. If I were in the same situation, I would hope that somebody would have grace. Or whatever. Like, I would hope situations like this don't happen, but it is what it is. Tasha had to set it off. That man asked for his check back. And it's crazy because she had already slightly gone over $2 million. But when he pulled out, that messed her up. So the most that she can get up to was like 190 something thousand. So I was like, child. She ended up going off to the side, talking to the heifer who is like over that school that her daughter wants to go to. And she was like, oh my gosh, you did so well for yourself. Like, you almost beat out Oprah. Oprah raised $2 million for us. And so she was like, yeah, I didn't know that. Knowing good and well, Tasha knew that all along. And it is what it is. The colonel then pulled her to the side and was like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't understand why you go up for Jameson, but I'm going to give him a chance. After all was said and done, this man is allowing him to be in the training camp. And so everybody like, wait a minute, are you sure? Are you serious? So of course Tasha is like in disbelief, but now he gets to be a part of it. And I'm like, please do not try her. But it is what it is. Like, you've seen what this man can do. Like, you passed him up. You passed him up when he was at that function. And it's like, child, you really tried it. So it is what it is. Garrett, the football player who is living for Raquel, is rolling up on her again. And he asked her to dance. And I'm like, okay, you done went on. Like, at least he ain't one of them people that's shallow. Well, I don't know. The jury's still out on that because he be having moments where I be questioning, like, okay, how are you really? But they really getting their life and they dancing one another. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, after everything was said and done, we at the end of the episode. Jameson is back at Malik's place, and he's thinking that he gonna get some wind down time by himself. He feels some type of way. Now he's embarrassed because that man rolled up. Brittany came to check on him, and so he doesn't know the news because he left. Does not know that he is going to be a part of the training camp. So he's in there, and he was like, "This is why I didn't want to go, whatever, whatever." Child, she apologized and was like, "I'm sorry about the situation, whatever, whatever." He feels some type of way. And then she proceeds to tell him, well, everything ended up working out the way it was supposed to, because now you are going to be in the training camp. He cannot believe it. And they were about to have a moment. They embraced. They were about to kiss when Malik entered his home with everybody. The after party was going to be at his place, and it ended up ruining their moment, but it is what it is. That was the episode. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. Thumbs up this video, and let's get down in the comment section and discuss it. Bye.